Hard shell tacos.
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 I think it's raining here. I think I can hear rain. That's pretty exciting.
Okay. It was just like that the other day here.
Yeah, it was pretty gloomy all day. It's actually
Yeah.
really nice.
The power went out. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday at work.
Oh wow.
'Cause it was raining so really hard.
That world-renowned Texas power grid.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Yeah.
Only for worse shit. So.
Yeah. Man, I had to take the puppy back today.
Really? What
Yeah.
happened?
Well, he's due for his sterilization.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he's old enough finally. But yeah, he was
Okay.
apparently he was the oddball of the the little group they found. The least outgoing of the four. So he and I, kindred spirits. I understand your pain, dog. I use that in both the as an urban colloquialism as well as your species. All right, let's do the thing. Here we are. It is January 3rd, first episode of 2024. Oh man, Hard Shell Tacos, where we are the odd dogs in our litter, in our respective litters. So I'm Leo, I'm joined by my cousin Lily. We are going to talk about all sorts of crazy shit. I was looking through some questions throughout from our last episode to now, and you had some parenting and relationship example types of, I don't know if quote is the right word because we don't have the exact one you were thinking of, but I do have quite a few pulled up. So let's start with those. So the first one I found, just before we started, what we were talking about, is it's about parents having a bad relationship, and thus the example they set for their children is is being in a bad relationship, essentially. Like that's your
you go after what you're shown, pretty much, So
right.
For example, my parents have been married for 39 years. This year of 2024 in December will be their 40th. And although they have stayed together, which is cool, great, whatever, they have a very toxic relationship. And I've just started noticing that. And I wish I found the quote that I had found that just made it click in my head. But I've realized that too in my own relationships, that they can get pretty toxic as well. So I don't know what a healthy relationship looks like. Although my parents have been married for a long time, they're not a good example, Yeah,
dysfunctional marriage.
100%, and they're very codependent on each other,
yeah.
Both of them, which is why they should have been divorced a long time ago, if I'm being honest. But they stayed together for the kids, I guess. I don't know.
Among other things.
And maybe, they probably have the same type of parents like that too, that were
right.
very toxic and whatever. So that's what they're used to, and they found their other toxic half and got some fucked up kids.
The toxic
out of the
scale was
situation.
balanced enough to produce children.
Yes. I was telling someone the other day how I was brought into this world against my will.
Yeah, I've been using that
I said that to my boss the other day. I was talking to him and one of my friends at work, and he's like, that is the most fucking emo shit I have ever heard in my life.
I was absolutely an emo kid that did not dress like one. 100%.
Yeah, true. I'm like same. I mean, I just wore a lot of puka shell necklaces and fucking thrifted t-shirts, one of the
cargo shorts.
Of the last, no, not cargo shorts, but I had a puka shell necklace that I never fucking took off, and this one belt that I never took off. Yeah, my best friend and I were looking at pictures, like I think it was last year, I don't even know, but we were looking through some of her old pictures, and we started seeing a theme with me in every picture that she had of us, and it's me wearing this one fucking belt that I literally wore it until it
Fell apart. Yeah.
And then I always had a puka shell necklace. Like, and then I used to, you know, do the thrift. I still do. I used to thrift or go shopping at thrift stores for like graphic tees and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, that's the best place.
Yeah, I used to get them from like the kids section because I was a freaking twig back in my day. Now I just shop in the men's section. I love men's t-shirts, but yeah, my friends and I, we would swap clothes all the time. She wore that same belt at one point, and we would always borrow these few shirts from each other, but we listened to I mean, I guess I kind of dressed like it. Never mind. So
Okay.
I guess I kind of did. Yeah, I guess I kind of did. But I was more into, I wasn't too into the emo stuff that much. I was more into like a Perfect Circle of Deftones and then all of that stuff. But there are some emo bands that I liked, and there's some that I like even more now. And I get to make my little emo heart happy in October when I go to the When We Were Young festival in Las Vegas. Very excited about that.
I don't get how and why people continue to call Deftones emo or like emo
They're like
adjacent.
new metal.
Yeah.
I always hear metal with them.
New metal based on time, like the time that they emerged. Their first like 2 albums, yes, but afterwards they started getting more experimental. I just call them like alternative metal at this point.
Yeah, they're nowhere near emo. I mean, I know Chino's voice, you know, he sounds like he's crying all the time.
Yeah,
but...
his haunting vocals, as I refer to it.
Yeah, so maybe that's why, but he's not emo.
Yeah, that used to bother me. Actually, like, speaking of dysfunctional relationships, this woman I used to see, she would always antagonize me with that. She would always, because she knew they were my favorite. So she would always call them emo and to goad a response from me. And like, why do you... It got to a point where I'm like, why do you keep doing this? Like, you see how agitated I get. Like, so why do you do it? Because it's fun? Are you enjoying this? Because I'm not enjoying this. Like, I really don't appreciate you, I don't know, calling me things that I'm not. And like in a derogatory fashion is why it bothered me. It's not because... Emo kids, whatever. I had tons of friends that were emo and stuff. I don't really care, but it's the like you're calling me that. You're using that as a derogatory word, and you continue to call me that. So that's why it's bothering me. And even still, she continued to do it. And like this woman was like 6 years older than me. That's what was really strange.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, it was weird. I was also weird, so there you go.
Yeah.
I kind of with the dysfunctional parents, like no shit. No fucking shit. My father was a very troubled man. This is not a mystery to anyone who knows, anyone who's been listening this far. You already know that even if you don't know the specifics, you know that he was not well in his mind. My mother was more indifferent and detached. I ended up learning about the term proximal abandonment, which is it's just like you are physically there. Yes, their food is on the table. Yes, you know they have you have clothes that fit you and everything. Like you're not being neglected physically, but like the emotional availability of the parent does not exist. So
my dad's emotionally unavailable. You know, it's hard to get an I love you out of that man. I mean, he shows it in some ways. I mean, he'll say it here and there now, but it's very rare, you know, when you hear it. He's only really open, I guess, like that with my mom only. But yeah, he's an emotionally unavailable parent, and it leads me to seek out
emotionally unavailable men.
Unavailable partners. Yeah. Oh, that's not good.
Actually, that makes me think of something where you said that he's like that with your mother, and at his funeral, his last wife of the the fucking sequence.
Of the what, 4, right?
4, yeah.
No, 3, because he had a chick on the
yeah,
side.
that's right. The yeah, okay. So yeah, the final partner in the sequence, she said that like he was a better man than you knew. He was very different than what you saw. Okay, so you're trying to tell me a secret, like it's gonna change my mind about everything I saw?
Yeah, it's like
I have none of those experiences, so I can't.
Yeah.
I don't understand you, woman. Your thinking does not make sense to me.
Just like your younger sibling, had a totally different
right
experience. So I don't know.
He's not. Oh man, he oh boy, he needs work. He needs to do some work, I should say.
Your little brother?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, he tried to. I'm gonna say it. I don't even talk to him anymore. So I got this very expensive, beat making program a couple Christmases ago, and he asked me to send him like the logins and all that shit for mine. He's like, since you're not using it at all, and I'm like, you're not about to fucking gaslight me to use my $500 program for free, or for me to give it to you. So I was like, you're not gonna start. I'm like, people may have been able to do that shit with me in the past, but I'm like, you're not about to do that shit with me. He's like, well, you're not using it. I'm like, you don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, he
so
has.
I'm like, ew.
He has a problem with assuming things, and once he is when he assumes something, he is convinced without any shadow of a doubt that he is right. And I think part of what led to me falling out with him was he had messaged me completely out of nowhere. We had never talked about this before, ever. And he just messaged me like, hey, can I move in with you? And I was I was still with my ex at the time. And we were still like very happy, very healthy relationship. And I didn't say anything. I just said, let me get back to you. And because like, I don't really want to, honestly, but let me still float it with the lady. I didn't tell him that. I just said, let me get back to you. And my thinking was, I'll bring it up, see what she thinks. And, we're gonna agree that we don't want that, but still, I want to give him I don't know, whatever. I wanted to ask her anyway. And she said like, well, do you want him to? Like, no, not really. Just making sure we're on the same page here. And yeah, but by that point, he had already started messaging me like, if you want to say no, just fucking say no. I'm like, dude, what is the matter with you? I don't know if you realize this, but I have a living with me partner, and we've been together for a long time. Her opinion on these things is very important to me. It would be complete disrespect to her to just let you move in without even having consulted her about it. And
I think out of all of your siblings, he was like the most spoiled one.
He was absolutely 100%.
And what you're saying now, like what you're telling me, that just shows
he's used to getting what he wants.
He was as a kid. Yes, God forbid if you say no. But yeah, I stopped talking to him after he said that shit to me. I think I blocked him or something. I'm like, you're not about to be doing this shit to me. Sorry.
Yeah. That isn't the only time he's done something fucking weird, like entitled behavior. But yeah, he's I don't know how many good relationships he has left with anyone. Just
I don't know if he has any relationships. I know he was talking to like the last time I saw him was when our cousin graduated from, what was it, NAU or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and that was like 2019, I think, or 18, somewhere around those times. That's the last time I saw him, and he seemed okay, and like he was kind of close with my brother and our cousin. But after that, yeah, that was it. And like I started sharing, my music stuff with him, and he started sharing his with me, so we would go back and forth and give each other notes. But that was it. And then just all of a sudden he's like, hey, can you send me
give me your
very
stuff.
expensive, give me your program for free because you're obviously not using it. And I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. Ugh. I think I had between like for me that the moving in situation, that was like the last of it. He had been some time ago, at least 10 years ago. He was a plumbing apprentice with my plumber brother.
Okay, yeah.
So he was doing that, and then he had let younger brother move in with him or something like that, and then he had been, I think, cheeky with sister-in-law, and
what the fuck? Are you kidding me?
yeah, and then after when plumber brother confronted him about it, he got cheeky with him, and then plumber brother he wasn't having it. So
yeah.
He kind of shoved him, and then like, check your attitude or I'll check it for you kind of thing. And they haven't spoken since. And
wow.
So I knew about this from younger brother. I finally heard the plumber brother side of the story, and it's really weird to me. It's like, okay, he is 100% admitting fault here, and he's trying to patch things up with you, and you don't want to? For why? I really don't. I don't understand. Like, we don't have a very deep bench here. We are very few in number. We are all we have. So, yeah, we don't really have the luxury of holding grudges. So I told him as much, along with like, dude, you need to get some serious fucking help, professional help. There is no magic pill, no fucking grass or mushroom that's gonna help you. You need professional help. And after that, I told him, like, dude, I'm not, until you decide to grow the fuck up and take charge of your life, I'm out of here. And yeah, haven't spoken to him since. But dysfunctional parents, really poor behavior out of the child. I had a lot of difficulty with being emotionally open in a lot of my early relationships. It wasn't until my most recent ex, and she was the one who really nudged me along in the right direction. Yeah. So, yeah, that's one of those, like, eternally grateful kind of things. But I'm trying to think. Oh, right. I think I've mentioned this before, but I struggled with fidelity as much as the example was set for me. I'm not trying to excuse myself, because it's not cool. No, in no way, shape, or form was that acceptable. So, but I don't know. I guess a key difference out of this one was it only took once, and seeing the fallout of that, I was like, God, I did that? That's not cool. I don't want to do that. That's not nice. And that's all it took for me to fucking learn. I mean, once is too many already, but still, like, better once than still doing it.
Yeah. Very true. Yeah, I've struggled with like opening up to people just because, I always got made fun of for doing that.
You have emotions? What a weirdo.
Yeah, right? You're not allowed to have feelings. And yeah, like being vulnerable with people and like fully letting my guard down. Like like I've been betrayed by every single person I've ever met in my life, and lied to and all this stuff. So it takes a while for me to trust people. So I don't fully open up. I self-sabotage a lot, especially when things start going good. It's
Yeah,
when I'm like,
that's
okay,
when you do it.
well, I'm like, where's all the bad shit? You know, I'm like, this has to be a joke. Like, there's something. This isn't real. You know,
Right.
And it's because I'm used to the dysfunction. Like,
Yeah.
and that's still something that I struggle with. I don't fully trust people, and I'm always looking for their ulterior motive. You know, even in like friendships. That's why I only have like 2 close friends, and that's it. And it's because we've put each other through the ringer. But yeah, I still do a lot of that, and I recognize it now, you know. And then especially getting out of a narcissistic relationship, like an abusive, you know, relationship like that, it's hard for me to take people's actions like their nice gestures and stuff. I can't take it seriously because I'm like, what are you doing? You know?
What do you want? What do you actually want?
What do you want? What are you doing? Yeah, that's something that I struggle with. And then I seek emotionally unavailable people, and I don't like it. And then I kind of feel like I can be emotionally unavailable also. I can't really take compliments. I feel weird receiving affection. Like, I don't like it. I appreciate it, but I feel weird about it.
I wonder how. I don't know. I'm sure you've recognized this, but what I'm hearing is like you yourself are seeking a mirror, sort of. Like, you don't want to be emotionally vulnerable, so you look for people who won't bring that out of you or try to bring that out of you.
Maybe that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're not going to challenge you because they don't want to be challenged. I mean that like emotional vulnerability, not like
yeah.
That was just what popped in my head when I was hearing that. Here is, I don't know, like these quotes are all you can really say is like, yeah. Your first obligation as a parent is to not bring chaos into your kids' lives. Like, no shit.
Correct.
How we listen to our children holds just as much value as the way we talk to them. Like, okay, yeah, no fucking kidding. A little bit of vindication here. Somebody's mad at you right now because you picked peace over drama and distance over disrespect. These are all fucking Pinterest. All right. Okay, so
I did find some poems too that I
fun.
That I saw. I just gotta fucking find it. Hold on. What's this one?
I have my fresh notepad right next to me. I've been working on. Oh, right. I had talked about, I don't remember when, but it was some time ago, about this one that I wrote. It was when we were talking about like inspiration and stuff and like trying something new. And I had mentioned trying to work on meter. And I had written one when I was like in the throes of substance abuse problems. And yeah, I finally found it. I thought I had lost it, but I got it. But okay, so I have some of these. This one in particular, this first question that came to me, it sparked from a conversation on Reddit where the topic of conversation was like, what phrases need to go away? And somebody said, someone said the cliche, I'm really OCD about such and such thing. And I commented on that.
I'm guilty of that one a lot.
I commented on that saying like, yeah, similarly, people saying they're depressed when, you know, they just had a bad day or something. Like, I don't think that's depression. And somebody got really fucking upset with me saying that I'm gatekeeping. I'm gatekeeping depression.
Okay.
So that's what I was thinking. And then person said, Well, so it's weird to gatekeep depression. That's what they kept saying was it's weird.
Yeah.
And so I said, I think what's more weird is saying that you have something that you don't and watering down the potency of that word so that when people who actually have it, now they just look like some fucking quirky kid on Instagram. But they're not. They have an actual serious medical condition.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, well, you don't know if they have it or don't. Like, yeah, you're right. And it's still, I still think that that's not an acceptable use of the phrase. Like, if I wake up and my testicles are sore, I don't say I have cancer or something or anything to that effect. These are serious medical conditions. And
just like people who, get easily distracted. They're like, oh my God, ADHD, you know?
Or
like there's more to, I can't even speak.
There's more to it than just being distracted.
Yes.
And so that's what I said about depression. Like, there's way more to it than just being sad about something. There's so much more to it. And then, like, I gave a scholarly source. Like, look, these are all of the other symptoms that you can have, and like being sad is just one of the few that's visible. So
you can be high functioning, just like with anxiety. There's high functioning anxiety, where everything seems fine, but it's really not. I mean, I deal with that. I'm definitely high. I am high functional anxiety, like to the T. If you ever look at me and anything that's like me, so I always just hate when people are like, oh my God, anxiety. I'm like, it's not just rocking back and forth and whatever,
Being nervous about something is not anxiety.
No.
So that was like same thing. Like, I was a high functioning, and I had a major depressive disorder, or at least that's what the diagnosis was at the time. And this isn't, I'm not just sad. That's absolutely not what's happening to me. And I really don't like, if you want to call it, like, this is me speaking to that person. Like, if you want to call me a gatekeeper, go ahead. But I'm not going to sit here and let people trivialize a very serious condition. Because no, people who are dealing with this, normalizing is great. I love it. I'm here for it. I'm here to help. But trivializing it, absolutely not. This isn't like, oh, I'm so OCD because you like your pencils to be in a straight line or something.
Oh, there's way more to it than that, and I can really delve into that because that's
what somebody,
OCD is no joke.
Somebody else, the person who posted, I hate this phrase. I'm really OCD about whatever, like something trivial, and then people were like, yes, I'm diagnosed with OCD. And keeping things in order is not what you think. It's not enjoyable.
No. Like, for instance, with me, I have a thing with locked doors. And I've always been like that since I was a kid. Like, locked doors, I have to make sure, like, when I'm in the house and everyone who resides in the house, wherever I lived, I had to make sure those doors were locked at all times. Like, if I let my dogs outside, the minute they come back in, I need to lock the doors. I cannot go to sleep unless I check all of my doors are locked and windows are locked, and that everyone who's residing in my home is like in the same room as me. And I do that when I go visit back home. I am checking everyone's fucking locks in your home, because it just gives me a sense of security. And I've always been like that. And I've always been weird with hand washing. Like, I'm always washing my hands. Like, that's another one for me. And what is it? Even numbers. Everything has to be even numbered. Everything. Everything.
I don't think I'm, the word that I prefer to use is I'm neurotic about that. Just, it's really dumb. I know it's dumb. But still, like, if I change the volume on something, it has to be either 5 or a 0. There is no other option.
God. Oh my gosh. And yeah, I'm like even numbers. Even with my alarm clocks, like they have to be even numbers.
5 or 0 for me. Nothing
But
else
no,
is acceptable.
But yeah, OCD is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I've heard.
I hate that I'm like this. Like, I hate it.
Oh,
I really hate it.
another minor one is when, I don't know, you misremember something or you mishear something. Oh, I'm such a schizoid. Like, or I'm such a schizo. Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. I hate people who just do that in general. Like, oh, if they wear glasses, oh my god, I'm such a nerd. I'm like, oh, I hate people who categorize themselves into like these things. I'm a foodie. I'm a blin. I'm a whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing. It bothers the fuck out of me.
It's just to be quirky too. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
You're not doing it out of advocacy or anything like that. Don't try to misrepresent yourself any more than you already do.
And all I'm gonna say is, if you're trying really hard to make yourself different than others, you're just fucking following the crowd. Because there's a lot of people who, say that they're a certain way and that they're not like everyone else. Well, guess what, bitch? You're like fucking everyone else, okay? Because you're trying too hard to not be, instead of just being your authentic self. If like, fuck. Just coming from a weird kid.
Yeah, coming from a weird kid. Like, you don't want this. I promise you don't. All right, so moving on, another question. This one always fucking bugs me when I see it. I think we've spoken about it briefly. I don't know if we've done so at length, but is there any completely selfless act of kindness? Or is there always a motive behind helping someone else?
There's always a motive.
So here, perfect.
To me, there's always a motive. Always a motive.
So here, I'm going to give you a scenario here. You go to a gas station because you want to get a snack and a drink, and then as you come out, there's a guy who's very clearly down on his luck. he's clearly down on his luck. He asks for a few dollars or like some change or something, and you don't have any. So you don't think about it. You walk in, go to the ATM, you pull out $20, and you give it to him, and you drive away. What did I get out of that?
Hold on. You gave them money and you drove away?
Yeah, I legitimately walked into it was a gas station, went to the ATM, pulled out 20, handed it to him. I said, hey, take care of yourself and good luck getting home. And I got in my car and drove away. I didn't talk to him anymore after that.
I mean, you get the satisfaction of knowing that you helped someone. And in some lengths, there's, that probably, I don't know if that would qualify it as being a selfless act, but I don't know. But there's people that will do that, and then they go post it on the internet, like, oh my god, I just did this whole thing. Or there's people that will purposely go out and try to find someone that they can help to make themselves feel better. I don't know. So to me, I don't feel like there's...
Altruism isn't a thing. I don't know. I drove to the gas station with the intention of getting snacks. Mm-hmm. And when I saw him, he asked for some change. I looked at him. His shoes had the shoelaces removed. So that happens if you're either like in a city or county lockup for whatever, like drunk tank or whatever. But there's nothing like that nearby. What is nearby is a mental health crisis facility. And it was like across the street. So he clearly just came from there. I didn't feel positively about myself. I am only mentioning it because of this question. If I didn't include this question, which I was really thinking of cutting it out, would you have known that I did that? What do I get out of that? I don't give a shit. I don't feel better or worse about myself. I'm more worried about him. I really hope he's okay. He was saying that he needed to get to it was quite a bit of a ways. And he said he was trying to get back home in time for Christmas.
Gotcha.
Which was a few days away, but still.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there a possibility he uses it for drugs or something? Oh yeah, I guess. But I mean, what can I really do about that anyway?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I could list more of these situations that I've been in, but it kind of, I don't know. I don't know if I don't want to. I don't really need to. I know I did it.
Yeah.
I know that those people are slightly better off for 5 minutes or whatever. Do you want to guess how many animals I've fostered and taken back?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I've been doing this for like 3.5 years.
3.5. I'm going to say about 15. 12 to 15.
Yeah, that's actually close. That's no,
Are you fucking kidding me?
I think you got it. I think the puppy puts me at 14, 13 or 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Dang. Okay.
How many of those have I mentioned?
How many of them?
I know I've mentioned puppy and the senior cat
Yeah.
that had to take the final nap.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I have quite a few deep scratches.
I want to say you
Yeah, I have posted
posted like
pictures.
a kitten before. Yeah.
I do post pictures of very cute kittens. That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I guess those don't count, but still, there's a lot of them. Huh. Did you know I'm in Big Brothers of Arizona?
You have mentioned that. Yes.
Yeah, poor dude. He's moving to Tucson. So
Oh.
I'm getting rematched sometime this year.
Okay.
I'm kind of hoping for younger this time. He was 15, and kids are fucking weird these days, man. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I couldn't get through to him. Like, he wouldn't ever open up about anything. After the requisite amount of time had passed, I brought him here to my house and was like, hey, okay, so you live with a single mom. She's always working. So you, as far as I know, you don't have a lot of home-cooked meals from what you've told me. So I'm going to show you how to make something really simple. And I'm doing it, demonstrating, explaining it, and then he just kind of jumps on it and does it like nothing. It's like, dog, you told me you didn't know how to do any of this.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just say so? We could have done something more advanced. What the fuck? Man, he was like that with a lot of stuff. It was frustrating. You just tell me. So, because if you've done X, Y, or Z, we're gonna do something else that you haven't.
Yeah.
Whatever. Goddamn Fabian.
And it was called what again?
Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Okay. I might want to do that.
Yeah, that's worth looking into. Note, if you're specifically hoping to get a girl, might take a little longer. I know that pretty much everywhere there's more boys waiting, and big sisters can have little brothers. Big brothers.
Okay, I was about to ask. I'm like, do they match?
Big brothers cannot have little sisters.
Oh, well, I get that.
I don't get it, but whatever.
I mean, I do get it. But that's still weird because it can also happen, shit can also go the other way. But it's more common that way. Let me see if they have something like that out here.
Big Brothers will have in your city for sure. Okay, is it possible to go through life without telling a lie?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I was thinking
Even if it's a little white lie, you
Right.
gotta, there's gonna be a point in your life where it's like a necessity at some point.
It's usually
you
to
might
spare
have to
someone's
lie.
feelings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that when we were doing the full 2024 card read, which
Yeah.
pluggity plug, ookie spooky stuff, go check that one out. I just put it out. So I mentioned on one of those months where this is the time to, like, that person you know who I'm talking about. The person that you need to let go of. You know who I'm talking. That's she would do that, and I was just too fucking dense to pick up on it. Yeah. So before we in the last one we were talking about like New Year's resolutions kind of. And I was thinking about it. And the reason I was very vocal about you know who I'm talking about, mostly a message to myself, because as the year was approaching, I was thinking like, do I want to do a resolution? What would I do? And like typical, like I'll start exercising more or start eating better, typical shit. But then I was like, do I want to renew my efforts to try to woo her?
Oh Lord!
Yeah, that's why I was very insistent. You need to stop. Like she doesn't like you.
Oh my God!
I can't. Oh God, I can't help it. I don't know. I can't help it. I'm infatuated.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just tell you, do what you gotta do.
I will.
Do you, boo?
Man, I tried a lot of things. Being like really creative things too, and nothing doing. That's all right though. I think part of it is I have a more I'll try to put it nicely for myself, a more antiquated outlook on courtship and romance, and that just does not really jive with the current landscape for people. Makes it kind of difficult. I don't know how else to be.
Sorry, I'm like all over the place right now.
That's fine. Yeah.
I'm trying to work on getting one of my friends on our podcast.
Ooh, fun.
Who is one of our listeners.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah. And I just let them know, like, let me know when you want to hop on and what you want to talk about, probably. He did enjoy our episode about, like, our music and all that stuff, our creativity.
Yeah.
He does a little bit of that stuff, too. So,
very cool.
Maybe we can have him on and talk about that or just some bullshit. I don't know, but...
Possible to go through life. Every time I think about it, I feel so fucking stupid. It was very obvious what she was doing. I just could not pick it up at the time. It's too. I was like the heart eyes emoji. That was me. I could just not see logic. It was not in the cards. All right, but enough of my fucking woes. Is it more admirable to live for a cause or die for a cause?
I kind of want to say both.
Right. I was thinking, like, it kind of depends on the impact that you have, depending on which one you do.
That's kind of why I mean both. Because it could depend on.
Because, like, martyrdom is huge for causes. But, also, like Nelson Mandela, living for the cause. He was... like the fucking champion of ending apartheid.
Yep.
So it was and he lived for the cause, whereas let's say Dr. King here in the US, where he died for the cause, and that did spur a lot more action.
Yeah.
But he also like lived for it as well. I guess it's difficult to say without having been there. Or having been alive during that time, knowing just how big of an impact he was having at the time.
Yeah.
I actually got a chance to talk to a guy. He marched on Washington in the same, like in the group with Dr. King. I thought it was really cool.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he was an older gent. Yeah, as far like living or dying for a cause, man.
You know who people don't talk about very often that I didn't find out about until years ago? The Loving family, like the couple. They went to the Supreme Court. It was Mildred and Richard Loving. They were an interracial married couple, and where they were living at, it wasn't, legal
Yeah.
during their time. And they literally went all the way to, they're the reason why interracial couples exist and can be together now. And I recently saw like a movie they made about them, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
All of the things that they did to try to, they didn't care if it was legal or not. They wanted to be together, and they literally fought all the way to the Supreme Court to get this passed.
I've heard of it. I've heard of this. I've heard of their name, but I didn't know that much about it.
Yeah.
But wow, that's really cool.
I just felt like bringing them up for some reason,
no, they're not.
They are living for the cause, and like they changed.
They changed society.
A lot of that stuff. Yeah. I would not be here if it was still, illegal. Like if it wasn't legal, I would not exist, because I am a product of a biracial marriage. So I am always thankful for those two, the Lovings, for that. They lived for the cause and they made it happen. And a lot of us really wouldn't be here if it weren't for those two.
I actually had a conversation with a woman I was seeing once. It was a brief relationship, but she was a Hispanic woman from New York, from the city, and she grew up. Her parents were immigrants from Peru. They were very strict Catholics, and it was weird because at the time, I don't recall what it was exactly, but there was marriage equality stuff in the news, and she was ardently against it. And it's like, why? I don't get it. Why? And she said, because the Bible says so. Okay. First of all, I don't think you've read it, but whatever. That's by the by. Secondly, there was quite some time ago where people said interracial marriages were against the Bible. And she had her previous relationship was interracial, so she got a bit upset with me. I didn't care. Do you not understand how fucking stupid you sound right now?
For real.
I really struggled to not say that. I didn't, but I was definitely thinking it. Like, man, everything is fucking considered against the Bible when the societal norms don't want to change. They'll try to find some inalterable reason that we have to stay the way that things have to stay the way they are. Oh man. So actually, strangely enough, a listener for the politics show, I had I was talking about Nikki Haley, the the woman candidate in the Republican primary, and she was in New Hampshire doing a little meet and greet kind of thing, and she took an audience question, and they asked her about the Civil War, and she just laid out all the same stupid bullshit that everyone likes to lay out,
that they all say.
And at the end of the question, or at the end of her talking, he said his response was like, it's 2023 and you still can't say that the Civil War was the cause of it was slavery remaining legal or not. So I was kind of riffing on that, and then I mentioned that, like, yeah, I've taken that whole, it was about states' rights, it was northern aggression, it was blah 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 blah, all the same dumb shit that they always say. So I'm like, I'm gonna look these up because I need to put an end to this. And do you know the name Jefferson Davis?
That sounds familiar, but I probably don't know who that is.
He was a senator from Missouri, I want to say it was. and he was the first president of the Confederacy, the only president of the Confederacy. And
Okay, I don't.
he made it up, but he cited the Bible as the source for the position of inferiority is natural for black people. It is,
Oh my god!
it is natural for them to be beneath us. I'm like, bro, what? How do How do you still try to say states' rights? So I'm putting together a really long outline. I had mentioned that the Lux Internum outline that I did. I'm doing something similar to that. I'm just gonna go down point by point, state, like seceding state by state, all of the main figures. Jefferson Davis, what's that? Some fucking cocksucker that the vice president. It's like Stephen Hamilton or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm working on that right now because I'm fucking tired of hearing that. I'm so tired of it. Somebody actually in the subreddit for the Marine Corps, I had mentioned something about like it wasn't states' rights, and then some fucking idiot was like, "Oh yeah, I bet you think that the Iraq War or the invasion of Iraq was for WMDs." Dude, this is not the same thing. But when I get it put together, I'm going to put it on the website, which I started a new section. It's called the Daily Constitutional. I think that's pretty funny.
I'm like on the website
Yeah.
right now.
The Daily Constitutional. I specifically picked something that sounds like poopies because politics is poop.
Yeah.
But it's I just put up press releases from all of the reps and senators that I get a newsletter.
Okay. Ooh, I didn't know you had merch.
Yep.
Look at that.
And there's the Wayside Sports Review. I just put up press releases from all the boxing companies.
Okay.
But yeah, the shop is all of it right now is
boxing.
yeah, it's the boxing stuff right now because I don't have designs for anything else really.
Yeah.
Oh man, hey, look at that! We've been doing a lot of the outro stuff. Excellent.
Right?
Yes. So B-Sides Boxing's the boxing podcast I do with some homies. On the website, all of the merch is boxing related right now. If you like MMA, we have Ultimate Fucking Casual. The aforementioned Progressive Patriots, Ookie Spooky stuff as well. I don't know how much I want to broadcast this, but Lux Internum is a personal project of mine it's a theology, philosophy, that kind of stuff. So I had actually one of the B-Sides people. He mentioned something about having different social media accounts for the different shows.
Yes, I've actually been wanting to talk to you about that. I'm like, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Okay, so I what I mentioned to him and the other panelist I have is, man, it's if we're going to have individual accounts, then what I need is like other people need to be posting on it. I can't be the only one doing it. That's why
I was going to tell you I could probably help with this one and the other one that we do, Ookie Spooky. I'm good with doing both.
Yeah. I kept them all in one because it's easier for like advertising accounts, like accounting, invoicing for advertisements. It's a lot easier and easier to do. Like Meta, it's really easy to manage everything in one place. So that helps.
But yeah, I was thinking of that too. I was like, we should probably have like our own accounts for both of the ones we do.
Yeah,
So that's a good idea.
I
I'm
think
on
everyone
board.
does.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. Well, it's fine. One of our
And like, I was even thinking, because like TikTok right now is the biggest thing
oh
to
my
be
lord,
promoting
yeah,
everything on. I was even thinking maybe at some point we could start doing like video stuff and like posting clips of some of our podcasts
yeah,
or something like that, and like putting it on YouTube or something at some point. That'll mean I will have to look less like a fucking garbage raccoon and more presentable, because when I'm at home I'm very comfortable. My hair is in a fucking weird ordeal. But yeah, we could probably maybe jump into doing more of that type of stuff too. But I'd say give me a little bit of time, because I need to like clean out a room that's in my house that's like my room, my little me cave, and get like a better desk setup for all that type of shit if I do video. But that's something we could all probably look into doing as well, because it will push, it'll push more of that out there.
yeah. I did try doing some TikTok. Like, I still have the account, but
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
I really was just making highlight clips of whoever we're talking about, and it's all sports related. So,
Yeah.
but those highlight clips were a little difficult, time consuming for me to make, and
I bet
it wasn't really worth the effort for the returns. But as far as like going on YouTube, like this is on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
It's just what I do. The publication service that I use for distribution, it has an option to auto publish to YouTube like everything else, but it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my music stuff is like that too. Yeah.
So
I get it.
There's no video content, but it's like technically a video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So that's why the numbers aren't very good over there. But I expect they want to see things, not listen.
Yeah. Because I know people will like listen to. I do that with one of the podcasts that I enjoy a lot. That's just a bunch of fucking dumb shit, anyways. That they're talking about all the time, but they have like. They upload their videos to YouTube, and it's just them, in front of their mics and stuff talking. And they also have their own thing on like Patreon for like subscribers, like myself, who get like extra episodes. And then of course they're on the Spotify and Apple, podcast, so that you can listen too if you don't want to watch video. But I've noticed that a lot of people that do podcast now, they like video the whole thing, and they'll put that on YouTube, Patreon, whatever, and then of course the audio with Spotify and all that junk.
Right.
So maybe later on with time we can start doing stuff like that.
It'll take some practice, because there's a I do edit the audio a little bit. Like when I say edit, that's a strong word. I just clean up spaces, or if there's excessive filler words like are, whatever.
Yeah.
That I clean out.
Okay.
Whereas with video,
I still
kind of can't do that.
Yeah, I still have yet to listen to any of our podcasts, just because I hate the sound of my voice.
I would suggest turning the speed up. That helps. Of all the ones, of all the shows that we do, that I do, whatever, that I'm on, there's only one that I ever I got used to the sound of my own voice very quickly. It did not take a lot of time. But the one that I didn't like was Boxing in Espanol. I fucking hated hearing myself in Spanish because I sound like a moron. and I'm on the show with two. I was on it with two native, like they're Mexicans. They're Mexican citizens. So like, fuck.
Yeah.
I sound like an idiot, and they sound great.
Yeah, we got the like Spanglish version of Spanish, you know, like the
yeah. So that's what it was for me. Was I would listen to them. I would like toss out a question. They would kind of banter back and forth. And as I'm listening to them, I'm like, oh yes, that's the word. Yeah, I want that word. I can put together the sentence. So I just needed. My vocabulary isn't very good.
Yeah, my Spanish has gone to shit too. It's because I don't speak it that much, you know.
Yeah.
I don't call my mom often, and you know, like I don't speak it that much, and I hate it because it was, you know, that was the first language.
Right.
But yeah, I get words fucking mixed up all the time. I forget words when I'm translating, and it really bothers me because I'm like, this was my first fucking language.
I don't know what it
means. It was a main language in my house growing up, and it still is, you know. When I go home, that's the only language. Fuck, man, it's annoying to lose that part because it's like such a big part of who we are, you know. And I love being bilingual. It's just I'm losing the language a little bit, and it sucks.
Very much. Right. So, yeah, speaking of social media, until we branch that out, we are on LVX Media Net on everything. If you can't find us, we're not on it. The TikTok account I made private. Yeah, I don't know what I want to do with it yet. So, it's there, but whatever. So, interacting with the social media posts, it helps amplify those, which has the hopeful indirect cause or indirect action of highlighting the podcast themselves. But what helps the most, rating and reviewing on wherever you're listening. A rating, just if you could hit me with a $5, would very much appreciate it. If you have a minute or two, a review would also be cool. But you can go to the website, luxmedia.net, hit the taco page, and there's contact options in there. The phone number is 833-LUX-PODS, and it's anonymous. If you don't tell me who you are, I don't know who you are. So, you know, let it rip if you want. Text or phone. The phone goes straight to voicemail. And anything you want to throw out? Parting words? Parting wisdom?
Not really. I guess if you're doing resolutions, I guess try to stick to it as much as you can.
This is the year she and I are going to be together, I'm telling you.
You know what? Speaking of resolutions real quick, I did see something on TikTok talking about how in like the paganism, the real New Year isn't until the spring.
Vernal equinox.
Yes. Which is why your New Year's kind of don't flourish during the winter time, because you should be preparing for hibernation. And it's really in the springtime where we should be setting like those resolutions and stuff, because, you know, that is when we are renewed and whatever.
Man. The pagan implications of vernal equinox, winter solstice. Oh my lord, I could do a whole Lux Internum on just that. But that's neither here nor there at the moment. All right. It used to be the Trinity, but we've expanded, because how the fuck could I have forgotten? LeVar Burton.
Oh, man.
The Millennial Pantheon now includes LeVar Burton, a very kind and generous soul who taught us to love our curiosity and learning. Then Steve Irwin, loving nature, being kind to animals. Fred Rogers, being kind to your neighbors. And I feel most importantly, Bob Ross, teaching us to be kind to ourselves. There you go. That's the Millennial Pantheon. If there's somebody missing, I would more than gladly add them. But you know the number, so there you go.
Yep.
All right, that's going to do it. Hard shell tacos number, what the fuck are we on? 15. Yep.
Like, I don't even know, man. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. One last thing before we get out of here. The song taking us out today is Winter Fields by City Girl. If you would like to hear more, if you want to check out some merch, go to lvx.at/city. Go support an artist, lux.at/city. All right, we'll see you next time.
Hasta la pasta.